All right, welcome back. So, when last we left off, we had created Warframe Yard and the fine characters who are present in said settlement. So, let's quickly just introduce our characters again. Ryan.
I'm Ryan. I use he, him pronouns, and I'm playing Sev, Mercurio, who is part of the Starlift and is now a medic who doesn't really have a set face because I'm a doppelganger. I can do whatever I want. I can look like whatever I want, and uses they pronouns or he or she or whatever. Sev really does not have a strong opinion on such because you don't deserve any of that information. Just whatever.
Yeah, that's fair. Lauren.
Yeah, I'll be playing Kia or Badger, Miralles Gala. She was a belter, had this very daredevil-y, like salvagey kind of like mentality towards survival, I suppose. Is now a what is she now? She's now was part of like Bastion's children, where brave Commander Bastion sacrificed herself for a dozen others so we could flee in a remaining spacecraft. So I have a lot of respect and honor for what she did. And I'm now currently kind of a community leader, I suppose. Specifically a prosperous by issue prophecy and very knowledgeable about herbs and lore, and I speak with Polvo. So I'm long story short, yeah, she is very badger-like in that she looks super like soft and Luna Lovegood, and then can get super punchy and vicious and mean when she needs to. So I'm looking forward to playing that character. Very like dozy space. And I know Ryan said this last time. I used to picture with some of the like sort of short bowl cut kind of hair with like asteroids and stuff around her head. I think that's totally cool if like those asteroids and planets that actually exist like around her brain space when she drifts off. That's Kia / Badger.
Nice. And Larry.
Yes, I am Larry. He, him pronouns. I'm playing, how did I decide to pronounce this? Shay, I think. Shay Addis, also he, him pronouns. I have somewhat contradictory beliefs. My first one is the viruses play off of our weaknesses, and survival is a lottery. Started off life as a belter, which I understand is that, like, I think I grew up like on like little asteroids or something, like some kind of like asteroid community, doing salvage kind of stuff. I also picked up some of the trade of my father, who was a marshal, so I am skilled in the investigation of crimes and things like that. I think I first encountered this whole, song, the song mimetic virus, like very early on while stationed on Feynman's. I was one of the Feynman Sentinels on Feynman Station, right?
Yep.
That was like first encounter, I think, of humans with the song. Basically, I was off on patrol and I came back and like all of my comrades were, under the spell of the song, which kind of feeds into my belief about, I just happened to be on patrol and was spared this fate. And in the current community, I still basically function as a Sentinel recon specialist. So, things like traveling, reconnaissance, all that kind of good stuff is under my purview. And I just imagine him at the moment just kind of being a bit like laconic, if that's how you pronounce that word. Just a bit of a loner, wary of other people, because you never know, their weaknesses could make them vulnerable to these competing viruses.
Wonderful. All right. So, I believe that all of you folks should still have a link to the quick start, which includes a rules reference. Make sure that you have that handy, because we're going to actually play, and this will involve rules. So, the way that we start every scene is each scene is so effectively play is divided into scenes and moments. Scenes are these big dramatic things where typically multiple characters are involved. By contrast, moments are these lower intensity, more personal situations. And typically moments will have one or two people involved. So it's effectively the loud scenes and the quiet scenes. So we establish our scenes by creating three components. One person will create the platform. Typically, that's me. Then I pass it off to someone else who will create the tilt, who passes it off to a third person who creates the question. So let's go through what these are. So the platform is the initial situation. Who's there? How much time has passed since the last scene? That kind of thing. It's effectively a snapshot of where things are at. The tilt is the destabilizing incident, which is the reason why the camera is focusing on this scene. Why are you getting involved? Why do you have to act? So if the platform is a snapshot, the tilt is the video starts up for about 20 seconds, showing you something's going on. Then last of the but not the least, is the question. The question is the thing that you are trying to play to find out and discover during the scene. So, the person who creates the platform chooses someone to make the tilt, who in turn chooses someone else to make the question. So, and then when we're done with that, we decide if your characters are present in the scene. So I'm going to say that this first scene is going to take place at one of these salvage yards. The smell of ozone is thick on the air. There's metal shavings glistening in the ponds full of oil and stagnant water. It's a harsh industrial location, and you can still see the rib bones of some dreadnought, which slammed into Polvo with meteoric force. And there's a salvage crew that is currently cutting their way into the Hulk. So let's pick someone else to do the tilt. Let's pick Lauren, who is muted.
Sorry, I was slightly distracted. What's the platform?
The platform is it's a salvage yard full of grit, grime, metal shavings, and oil in stagnant ponds.
Awesome. Ooh. For the tilt, let's think.
As you're thinking, can I ask a question? We had like where's the document where we had collected all of like the world information? I can't seem to.
Second tab of the character keeper.
Oh, geez, sorry.
Ooh. For some reason, like all I can think of is like some some kind of like salvageable artifact or ship or something, sort of being lost to like the sludge and swampiness of this area.
So
I'm having a hard time like doing the cold open for a tilt.
I apologize. So one thing, it doesn't have to be all on you. We can all help and contribute and give ideas. So does anyone have any good ideas on what could be going wrong? Why could people have to be paying attention in this scene? To note, we have 2 belters and a shape-changing Mercurio.
Mm.
Lauren, you were just saying something. Were you saying that like one of the hulls of one of these wrecked ships like could be sort of that something's happening with the ship, like it's like sort of like what's the word? Like descending into one of these pools or something like that?
Yeah, I had for some reason my mind went there.
I mean, that could be the tilt, right? I mean, like maybe there's something that would valuable that would be lost, perhaps, like on
yeah
the ship.
Excellent. One of these salvagers has his leg trapped underneath. Well, her legs trapped underneath.
Also a reason to.
Excellent.
Oh yeah, and then I pick someone for the question, right?
Correct.
How about I feel I feel mean saying Ryan, but I'm gonna say Ryan.
I don't really understand what it is that we're trying to do or find out or anything, so I don't think I can frame a question.
Ooh.
So, what are the potential things? So we know that someone is in mortal danger right now. So one very simple, straightforward question would be, can they rescue the salvager?
Yeah, or who loses a limb?
Yep. Other options could be, why did they risk their lives salvaging this particular wreck? Or why did the foreman why is the foreman in the middle of trying to murder that salvager by faking an accident? Like, these are all different options at our disposal. So as the teller of the question, the maker of the question, you get to decide, effectively contextualize what's going on. Does that help any?
Somewhat, but I'm still going to pass on it.
Okay, that's fair. Larry?
Yeah, I just one thing to know. I think it's also interesting that you could essentially like add some facts, I guess, through the question, like you just did with your last one about the foreman, which is interesting to note. I think I like the second one actually that you posed, just sort of like what was so important in this ship that the salvager. Like I'm assuming like this wasn't just came out of nowhere, right? Like maybe it was clear from the positioning of this vessel in relation to this pool of sludge that it might slide in, but they still risk their life anyway. So what's so important on this ship is interesting to me.
All right. So which of your characters are going to be present in the scene, and who wants to be in audience mode instead? So effectively, there's actor mode and audience mode. If your character is there, you're an actor. If your character is not, you're an audience. Both of these are active and meaningful forms of participation in the game. So does anyone have a strong feeling one way or the other?
feel like Kia is drawn to shiny objects and important objects, and I feel like would be in the scene. Sorry, Badger.
Sounds good. Shay.
Yeah, I feel like being the laconic individual that I am, I think I probably spend like an inordinate amount of time like around the scrapyard. So yeah, I can be an actor.
Excellent. And Sev, do you wish to be playing or acting or watching?
Well, I'm a medic, so it seems like I kind of ought to be an actor.
Okay, that's fair.
If someone's crushed under stuff.
Excellent. So, you see the Hulk shift radically as clearly something was dislodged underneath. And it moves about 5 degrees to the south. And it pushes into the kneecap of one of the workers who had her leg wedged underneath, trying to reach through an access hatch to manually open up the door on the outer bulkhead. So it's her arm is okay, but her leg is trapped under, and she starts screaming. The other workers are starting to panic and freak out at this point. What do you do?
Well, I feel like Badger, being like a daredevil, act first, think later kind of person, would wade into the swampy sludge. Like we get that nice shot of like sort of Badger doing high knees, right, to like get there as quickly as possible without letting the sludge like slow her down. And probably and we'll rush over and see if she can somehow provide some kind of assistance and assess the situation.
Right.
I mean, I'll probably call over whoever else is nearby, like Shay and Save, because it looks like we're going to need a couple of people to like lift up this thing potentially. So yeah, call everyone over.
All right. So some of the workers follow you simply because you're giving direction, and anyone who's giving an order in an emergency, people will just by default start following it before they realize what's going on.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm probably like pointing. Yeah. Oh, yeah. If it looks like, I don't know, yeah. I feel like the best way to get this woman out is like to try and lift up this the thing that's crushing her leg. That seems like a good idea.
Right. So one of the challenges is that this is big.
Yeah.
This is dangerously large. And if this is destabilized, it could move more. And that would have some nasty consequences for her.
Mm.
Some of the workers, a pair of the workers start screaming at each other. It's your fault. It isn't my fault. If you hadn't broken up with her last week, she would have been able to concentrate on this. You asshole. And yeah.
I feel like Badger snaps, right? Like this is like the Badger sort of Badger coming out, and she like calls them on their shit, right? To be like, I don't care who fucking started this. Like, you need to get your shit together. We can sort this out later.
So this is going to be a conflict because it gives us an excuse to try out the conflict mechanics.
Yay.
So if you get what you want, what will happen?
I would like support as opposed to like adversary in this instance. Like I want people to utilize their skills in a way that will help her out with it. It's like sort of jacking up whatever this thing is, or lifting it up, like whatever we need to free her.
Yeah.
I need
All
help.
right. So if they win, your attempts at calling them on their shit is just going to piss them off even more, and this is going to escalate into a full-out brawl.
Perfect.
Excellent. So, I passed a roll for your party link. I've never actually used roll for your party. But,
You're for a treat.
There it is. So, let's quickly go through what you've got.
Yes.
So, you get 1d6. So, all this is d6s. You get 1 die for being a person doing a thing. Does your origin apply?
I think so. I've got arguments.
Yes, you do.
And I have prevent violence and call people on their shit.
So, so each category and each option is individually worth 1 die.
Cool. Yes.
So do you have a builder origin that applies?
Yes, arguments.
Do you have a missionary option that applies?
Call people on shit.
War story.
No for war story.
War story option? No.
Not really. No, they don't apply.
Leader.
Yes, I'm trying to issue some commands. / making plans. I think.
All right, and last is Prospero.
I don't feel like I'm prophesizing at the moment. I feel like I'm just telling people what to do, rather than prosperity telling people what to do. So it's 3, I think.
So right now you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now,
perfect.
You have 4 dice. This is an opportunity where, you know how on the war story category, like the war story option, you could, one of the options that you have during play is you always have the ability to justify why one of your traits would apply. So you'll see that on the other entries, you have 4 items on it. 4 potential items. You can effectively make your 4th item. And this is the kind of thing that Bastion's children might very well have been dealing with.
Yeah.
Because in the middle of a war, moving wreckage or helping people out of traps or that kind of thing could make sense. So you could narrate and explain how that would happen and how that would help. You don't have to. If you don't, you just effectively hold it in your back pocket as potential narrative firepower. So would you like to do that, or would you like to simply leave that for later?
I might leave it for later. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good. So, you are rolling 4 dice.
Yes.
By contrast, I am rolling a total of... Yeah, I'm rolling 4 dice as well.
Oh, no. Okay, I should have. That's okay. I'll roll some magenta dice. Oh, I rolled very badly.
Okay. I think the blue ones are mine and the pink ones are yours?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
It looks like you win. I don't know how conflicts resolve, but it looks like you win.
This is how conflicts resolve. You add up all the dice.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, you do not have any strain. So therefore, you do not discard any dice. So you currently have a total of 10.
Cool.
I currently have more than 10.
Yes.
So there's a couple ways that you can boost your success. Either you or one of your colleagues can choose to suffer a point of strain. By doing so, you can re-roll as many of the dice as you'd like.
Excellent. And we can take 6 strain by the looks of things.
Yep. So at 1 point of strain, you don't add your 1s to your total.
Oh.
At 2 points, you don't add your 2s.
Oh. I see how this works now.
Yep.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll take that for a spin. Yeah, I'll
right.
I'll have a strain.
So
Jesus.
Oh yeah, you can reroll selected. Yes, there is that functionality. I am very happy.
And can I reroll all of them?
You can reroll all of them if you'd like.
Oh, how lucky am I feeling? I feel like I need to. I wish I was better at like. I wish my sibling Alex were here because they would be able to tell me at which dice I needed to reroll. I'm gonna keep one of the 4s, I think, and then I'll reroll those. Yes, I got 3 6s and a 4.
All right. So that will put you at, I believe, 18 versus my 17.
Oh god.
Fantastic. So why don't you narrate the outcome?
Oh yeah. So I think like one of them is like, it's all your fault. So like, it's all your fault. You shouldn't have broken up with her like the day before. Like and I just like, I think there is a very vicious call for like silence, and like we hear like the echoes of argument sort of like everyone stops talking, but you hear like the sort of their argument echoing like around this very desolate area until it's like palpably quiet. And then like Badger thrusts like a finger at like each of them and is like, you go over there and like use like this piece of equipment to lift that up. You like, I don't want to hear another fucking word out of you. You go over there and like you do that, and then we'll get her out of this, and then you can deal with your petty bullshit.
Perfect. All right. So on your character sheet, you got 1 point of strain for a reroll.
Yes.
And whenever anyone wins a conflict, whenever any of you win a conflict, I'm immune to this, you need to pay the price of victory, which is taking an additional point of strain.
Oh, excellent.
So you are currently at 2 strain. So note that you should do it for your own character.
Oh, whoops, sorry. I guess this is foreshadowing because I guess they will become me.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I would be totally fine with you shape-shifting into Zev right now.
I was about to say that all along this has been Sev, and I just go,
totally
fine, fuck all y'all, and walk away.
All right. Fantastic. So they start getting some metal supports and effectively putting rebar to sort of stabilize it so it doesn't sink any further. But the salvage worker is losing blood. She's in rough shape. Does anyone have a medic?
Sounds like it's probably my turn to do things.
Yep.
So I think Sev shows up looking honestly quite a lot like Badger. Like, not exactly like Badger, but like maybe Badger's cousin or sibling or something. There's some other people mixed in there. It's just kind of a gestalt face. Then observes what's going on and shifts into someone rather taller than that, so they can wade through this gunk without getting their gear, or too much of them, messy. And is immediately going to go establish the situation, try to stop bleeding, determine whether it's safe to move this person.
So is the are you turning into a human Terran, Martian, Belter, or an alien of some kind?
I'm gonna say Terran,
All right.
sturdy earth stock.
Excellent. All right. So you want to do some medic on this situation?
Yes, I want to medic the situation a lot.
Excellent. So let's go through your dice. You get 1 die because you're a person doing a thing. Does alien apply?
I'm dealing with humans, so I think alien always applies for me with these people.
So anyone who is in the audience role, by default, I am always in the audience role. Anyone in the audience role gets to make the judgment call on whether something applies or not. So typically we use the role of meh. If anyone goes meh, it doesn't apply. Normally dealing with humans is more of a social interaction and not a can we stop this human from leaking its circulatory fluid. So let's say that alien doesn't add up.
Okay. But I get one from Mercury because I took a new face.
Well, once again, you can create a thing about aliens that all aliens are. Like, is dealing with broken humans a common alien trait?
I mean, there's so many Terrans and Belters and Martians around here, and their makeup is so completely alien to me as a Mercurio that I feel like living among them requires a lot of being used to people who break in really strange ways. Because circulatory systems aren't really a thing we have.
Yeah, that's fair. So why don't you describe a situation where being an alien helped you fix a human?
Oh no, did I fix Badger at some point?
If you want to fix Badger at some point, that is totally fine.
So what was the thing that Badger needed fixing from?
Do you have ideas of how you broke, Lauren?
Oh, I feel like I'm still broken.
Ha, we're all broken.
I think, like, I feel like salvaging. I guess how long ago does this need to be?
It could be as far back or as recent as you'd like. This could be during the war.
Yeah, or it could be yesterday. I mean, whatever.
Oh, that's so lovely. Was it like one of our first like salvaging missions, and we went into someone else's turf and it got real like nasty, and I like, of course, being a daredevil who doesn't take anyone's shit, like waited in there and got some nasty like sort of, I don't know, like burns of some kind, whatever weapons we use in like this era, or like has some very oh yeah, we have a friend join.
Yay.
Or yeah.
Hello, Javon.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Sorry about that.
Not a problem. We will just I will toss you the link to the character keeper And then, so let's, so what is going on right now is currently our intrepid crew is trying to deal with a salvager who got trapped under a piece of salvage, and is currently pinned and bleeding out. So one of our characters, Sev, is trying to deal with this situation. In order to explain how Sev is good at fixing humans, we're effectively doing a little flashback. So Sev is currently describing how they fixed Kia Badger Mireles Gala.
Okay.
So it's going to be a bit gross, but I'm thinking that because I am a very fluid sort of alien and I'm capable of forming my own clothing and stuff, I could probably like create my own, not really skin graft because it's temporary, but I can kind of glorm something on to Badger and then pull my hand away, leaving it there so that the burn is at least covered until I could get her somewhere where I could deal with it better.
I love it. Oh, I've got a little piece of you with me. In my hand, anyway.
Okay.
And fortunately, rejection's harder when it doesn't have a blood type. So.
Ooh. Okay.
So Javant, on the character keeper, you'll note that there's 2 characters available. The ones that are grayed out, you can play either one of those.
Okay.
Rayhan might be an easier one to play, as opposed to the alien bear thing. But yeah, so excellent. So that sounds like we have clearly justified aliens. So all aliens are good at fixing humans.
Okay. That would be easy.
All right. So, Sev, Mercurio doesn't quite fit.
It does though, because I've got a new face.
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, so this is the first time you've tried to do something with this face. Yep, you're good.
Yep.
So you'll get a die for that.
And I was in the Starlift. One of the things that tag in there is performing triage.
Yes, that certainly counts. And then you have medic.
Yep. Which.
So you have 5 dice.
Yeah.
And because this is not as significant for me, I only get 3. So why don't you roll, and I'll roll. Oh, okay.
Think.
So
21 for me, if I can add, which is questionable.
You're at yeah. You're at 21, and I'm only at 16 because I'm rolling 3 dice. All right, fantastic. So why don't you narrate what's happened and then take a point of strain?
Sorry about my background.
No worries. So, can we just mute you for a sec, Javon, while we deal with this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Excellent. All right. So, Seb, why don't you narrate how you fix the human, and then we will get to it. And mark your strain, of course.
Yes, I marked a strain already because I knew that I was going to need one. Sev slides in with sort of casual authority of being the medic here and knowing that Badger's not going to tell them to stay out of the way. Like, clearly Badger was just clearing space for them. And as approach, their hands sort of get a bit thinner and longer as they kind of stretch under to try to see if anything's broken and whether it's going to be safe to move this person or not. Before, I think probably like barking order at Badger to pass it along to someone else that we need, piece of something, yay long or whatever, that we can make into kind of a, what do you call it?
Did you like blurt out a Mercurio word for it?
Yeah,
and then
I'm just trying to talk around it, like this something, like a board that you would put a person on to carry them if they have bones. The Fangablort, like, you know what I'm talking about, right? And yeah, and just goes back to trying to make sure that there's no extra bleeding. Like, does that gross like skin patch thing, and manages to get the piece of like probably just shrapnel or something, but it's sturdy enough, kind of under where you can slide the person out before letting the wreck collapse.
Excellent. Yeah, so you're able to take the salvager out from underneath this. And there is this brief moment where everyone is working together. So there's sort of a chain of people. Some of them holding up the wreckage so it doesn't collapse on her as she's being excavated, and others helping carry her out on a stretcher. She's effectively passed out at this point from the pain. But you managed to extract her from the wreckage. Congrats! So when you pull her out, after that's done, one of the two arguing salvagers goes up to Kia. This is apparently the boyfriend. I just wanted to thank you. I couldn't live with myself if anything happened to her.
And we see like Kia's like imagined like for whatever, like settling, right, like as she comes out of like Badger mode back into like Kia, and she places like a hand on his shoulder and she says, please, I was just doing what I thought necessary to save another life here on Polvo. I did not do it for you. I did it for her, obviously, but it is nice to know that you care, I suppose. We all need community and loved ones in this space if we are to continue surviving. Do you know why she was, or what she was after in that wreckage? I thought we had managed to salvage everything from this space.
So we heard reports that there were still some munitions in the wreck.
Ah. And were those reports accurate, or was it just a rumor?
And then he points to this oblong shape in the muck. Proton torpedo.
Ah. I feel like Kia, like, again, hide knees out of the muck and like the sludge to go over to like the oblong to like inspect it.
Yeah. So this is the point where anyone sensible runs away, because this is a dreadnought killing torpedo. This is it's a piece of Illuvian tech that effectively it's a hybrid laser and fusion style weapon that effectively releases a concentrated laser blast through energy harvested from a fusion process. And it is incredibly deadly. And if this thing went off, all of you would be vaporized.
Hmm. I feel not even Polvo could be able to save us in these circumstances.
Do you have any idea how much this would go for on the market?
A considerable amount, I imagine, enough for a hot meal at the very least. I'm very hungry right now.
This would be enough to care for our daughter. She'd never go hungry again.
Well, I feel it would be foolish if we did not take the risk to at least try and salvage this pot. I have the utmost confidence in myself and the people around us, and of course, the fruits it would bear would be very valuable.
We think that there's one more in the wreck. That's what she was going for.
I think I look over like my shoulder to Shay if like Shay is around, because I know Shay is like a belter salvager as well. Like, Shay, would you be interested in venturing into this this ship to engage in some salvaging?
Yeah, I mean, might as well. She's already, risked her life to recover this. And like the man said, there's a pretty penny to be earned here. So
I have a good feeling about this. I have a feeling that Paul was really smiled down upon us this day.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna kind of like march off, maybe grab whatever equipment that looks like it might be useful in retrieving this this torpedo. And oh wait, so the only entrance into this vessel is through the hatch that the salvager was trying to get into before it started to crush her.
I mean, you could try to cut your way through the bulkheads on the other side. That would take a long time.
Survival is a lottery, I always say. So let's just go for the pre-existing hatch.
Excellent. So let's roll some dice. Let's go through your dice first. Does Belter apply? Sorry, you are a person doing a thing, so you get a die.
Woo!
Belter totally applies because you're salvaging tech and risking your life simultaneously.
Yes.
So that's 2 dice. Marshall, not really.
Yeah, not really.
Overture.
Advanced tech, arguably. I mean,
I would say that pulling out weapons grade munitions from a fallen dreadnought is qualified.
Okay.
So you can get that die.
All right, 3.
Feynman's Sentinels, no.
No, yeah.
Veteran, no.
Well, what does threats mean? That's that.
Actually, yeah. No, I'll give
This
you
seems threatening.
threats and weapons, because the actual issue here is that this is equivalent to bomb disposal. If this goes off, it will cause issues.
Yes.
Yep. So you can have veteran.
Okay. But that's just
I-
one dice. Was one die per category, right? Even if multiple subcategories could
Correct.
Okay, gotcha.
So you get one. So being a person, being a belter, overture, and veteran. So you get 5 dice.
Right. 5 dice. Okay. Very nice.
And I am rolling because this is going to be threatening a large group of people. I get 4 dice as my baseline, and I get 1 more die because this is not there's no mimetic infection going on. So I get a total of 5 dice.
All right, we're evenly matched.
Yep.
May the best roller win. Huh. Oh God, math.
All right.
18. Oh,
And 18.
We tied?
So, yes. Here's the rules for ties. The player may choose to win. If you choose to win, your price of victory goes up by 1.
Oh.
Otherwise, I win.
Well, considering if I lose, I obliterate everyone. So I think I'll take the extra strain. So I take 2 strain. Is that the idea?
Yeah.
Okay.
And narrate how you extract a torpedo from a dreadnought.
Very carefully. Yeah, so I tromps my way like through the sludge, and I guess maybe she already had the hatch open, so I don't even have to really deal with the hatch, and squeeze my way in to this vessel. I don't think it takes too much time. Like I think it's like pretty obvious, like to find the torpedo. Maybe it was like even like sort of dislodged and like kind of like suspended.
Yeah.
Suspended in the air like by some cables and stuff, you know?
Yep.
And so it's just sort of a matter of like, cradling it like a large, very dangerous baby. And yeah, and then just gingerly descending back through the hatch, covered in muck, but like I've got like this, this torpedo, and maybe it's even kind of I don't know what these torpedoes look like exactly. I imagine like maybe even like in their like static state, like whatever, like they kind of like hum and pulse just to make it seem more, scary and ready to go off at any second.
Yeah, it's roughly coffin shaped, and if the weight of if the gravity on Polvo was Earth normal, there'd be no chance that you could move this thing.
Mm.
But because we're running at about 0.3 G, you're able to actually extract the thing. There's a lot of dragging involved, but you're able to extract the thing. And you pull it out just before the structure itself collapses. Right behind you, splashing mud and slivers of metal everywhere.
Very nice. I assume some people rush over to help me carry this damn thing.
And as they do, the bomb shakes.
Oof.
And something is inside the bomb.
What? I think I turned to Badger. I'm like, is this supposed to do that?
Like Badger is looking at you sort of like, slack-jawed, like, what the fuck? Because I think Black White Badger is like similarly like done her fair share of disarming bombs, that kind of thing, and she's like, "This, I thought I had seen some things in my time, but this is something new altogether."
So, you recognize what this is. During the War of the Song, Project Tormenta transformed a number of civilians into effectively mimetic payload for the Tormenta virus and fired them at the Chorister fleet.
Oh.
So it turns out that one of the weapons didn't go off. And it's been lying here dormant for about a decade.
Wow.
It should not be alive. It is.
Am I anywhere near this?
Sorry?
Am I anywhere near this?
I'm saying that you're probably watching from a distance because I take it that you're playing Kismet?
I was going to play Rayhan.
Yeah, Rayhan Kismet. Yeah, so your war story option is Tormenta's grave because you buried one of these Tormenta. Actually, the big one, effectively the queen bee of Tormenta. So you recognize this. You probably helped make one of these things. So yeah.
I'm just gonna stay over here, guys. If you need help, I'm over here. Just
fantastic. So that sounds like a great place to stop that scene. So let's go through the closing the scene. So what we do is we go through and review people's beliefs to see if they have confronted their beliefs. If so, they will get mark points on their insight track. So, Sev, identity is private. Has Sev either supported or refuted this belief? Note that normally it would be the people who are in audience mode who would be making this call. But for the sake of argument, let's all participate this time. So do we think that identity is private was something that was either had evidence supporting it or refuting it?
I would say I have yet to talk to anyone. So, Sev, yeah, you did a great job.
Yeah, I don't think it really came up because Sev just kind of came in like, I'm going to do my thing and I'm going to leave. I don't need to deal with any of you. So
That's fair. Compassion is all we have.
Again, not really Seb's best bedside manner there.
You saved someone.
I guess I did save someone.
I think you totally get credit for that. So, mark a point of insight. Kia, singular minds corrupt.
I don't think that came up in the scene because that's more, yeah.
Did you disprove it?
Because
you were effectively telling people stop fighting, stop bickering. You need to work together. And it seems like you were trying to like unite people into helping get this poor woman out from underneath the wreck.
Yeah, I definitely was. Yeah.
And that seems to be running contrary to your belief.
Yeah, we can say that it is. Yeah.
Brilliant. And community over the individual. Once again, this was let's take out like ship destroying munitions out of the ship because personal gain.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah. So that sounds like you get 2 insight.
I hope that's a good thing.
I'm going to say that even though Kismet only had a little bit, we are our ghosts. I think that will qualify with regards to the recognition of what this thing is, and I'm going to be over here now. So
it's good to avoid stuff that won't kill you, that you've seen in the past, and that could probably kill you.
Or worse. All right, so you can mark an insight. And Shay, the viruses play off our weaknesses.
I don't think that really came up in this scene, but survival is a lottery. I mean, I explicitly referenced it. So,
oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that came into play.
Sounds good. Brilliant. So, no one has reached 3 insight, so no one triggers a moment of discovery. So now let's do another scene. So the next scene is going to take place that evening, and it's in the center of a warehouse that's been emptied out of stock, and there's an armed guard surrounding the coffin that is still beating. So I'm going to pass this off to Ryan. Could you do the tilt, or do you want to pass that off?
I'm looking up what the tilt is again.
Destabilizing incident. Things are nice and stable right now. There's just a thing locked in a coffin that's trying to beat its way out.
Yeah,
that's
I
all.
think I'm going to go with Lauren's suggestion that the humming whatever is increasingly musical.
So note that Tormenta is the weapon that we use to stop the song.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually more of a screaming. If it's
cool, then it's going to do that because that sounds awful.
Excellent. And you get to pick someone else to make the question.
Larry?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I just want to make sure that Javon, does Javon have the rules? Javon, do you have the rules?
Yeah, I'm reading them as we go.
Fantastic.
I'm reading
Okay.
the quick start RPG. Yeah, I'm reading it.
Okay, cool. I just want to make sure you got it. Yeah, as far as the question, okay, so this thing is the torpedo is screaming in the middle of a warehouse and
That's
shaking.
always a good scene.
I guess the immediate question would be something like, is the how are we going to contain? Can or how can we contain the Tormenta from escaping? Yeah, the torpedo.
Yep. All right. So, yeah, there's a banging, and then the torpedo starts screaming. It starts shaking in the middle of the room. So, who's present in the scene, and who wants to be in audience mode? The sensible thing is for all of you to be in audience mode. To be clear, like let's be honest. None of you want to be near this shit, but who's actually there anyways?
Crap. I do want to see how this all plays out, so I guess I'll be there in the scene.
All right, fantastic.
This is not going to end well for me.
No, this is not going to go well for anyone except me.
Uh,
All right. Sev, are you in the scene or not?
I think I'm probably in audience mode since I
Sounds
have
good.
medical stuff to tend to, and this is not that.
Sounds good. Also, because of who you are, feel free to retroactively put yourself in the scene with someone else's face if it comes up. Just saying. So while you were in audience mode, your job is to judge if people confronted their beliefs. And when it comes to does this trait apply, you get to make the call. So excellent. Kia.
Yeah, I feel like he is there, much to my chagrin.
Yeah. And Shay.
I'm torn. I mean, I guess I hauled it out of the ship, so I might be curious as to. Yeah, I'll be there.
Excellent. So, what do you mean you pulled this thing out of one of the warships? It's still screaming. Nothing could have survived that.
Well, it wasn't screaming when I actually extracted it. It was afterwards that it started to act up. So
ooh.
I'm not sure if that's significant or not.
You reckless, foolhardy idiots. And
Thank
the
you.
captain of the guard, Crisis, another Martian, Kismet. You flaming, fragging, rusting idiots. This thing is going to rip its way out of the freaking torpedo and kill us all. And he just Crisis starts just screaming at you.
I'm like totally nonchalant. I think I may actually spit on the ground. Not on him, but near him. Yeah, I think I probably don't really like Martians. I feel like, their corporate hierarchical ways don't really sort of jive that well with my belter background, where we're just more of a flat kind of society. That's how I imagine it anyway. It's like, well, look, whether I left it, do you think we'd be any safer if I just left it in the wreck? I mean, if it goes off, it goes off.
Yes, and this is all your fault. This is all. So, this is at the point when effectively your spidey senses start going off and going, this is more enthusiastic than you would expect.
Mm.
And when Crisis reaches for your throat, you know there's something going on.
When Crisis reaches for your throat, that's a good line.
It really is.
So, quick update on how the mimetic viruses work. Functionally, everyone is infected at different levels.
Crap.
And certain circumstances will bring out either the song, making people creepy cultists who are eerily calm, working for the hive mind, or Tormenta, making people violent, rebellious, angry rage monsters. Guess what's probably going on at this point?
Enragement monsters.
So Crisis is trying to effectively take you out.
Crap.
What do you do, and what do the other fine players do when the Martian Marine tries to take out the Belter Marshal.
Well,
Force and possibly some power armor.
honestly, while they're yelling, I kind of just start just building a wall a little bit out of just anything I can find, just reinforcing it so that I can know, hey, we at least have some type of cover.
Right. So you find some crates that you can effectively hide behind.
Yes. And then
Excellent.
if
Brilliant. And Kia.
Well, Kia definitely wants to like shut the shit down. I think plus like probably has a little bit of a soft spot for a fellow belter. So would prefer if like said Marshall like wasn't injured.
All right. So let's do a conflict between the Martian and Shay. And we will allow Kia to help. So, does Belter apply? Sorry, you are a person doing a thing. Yes, you get a die.
Okay.
Does Belter apply?
I'm totally risking my life.
That's fair. Does Marshall apply?
Capture a criminal. Nah.
So you could create something to describe something more about marshals.
Oh, right.
And if you do, then the delightful Mercurio in audience mode gets to judge if it's good enough.
So this is like choosing one of the pre-existing talents or whatever,
you can make
and
a
then
fourth
like
one.
elaborating on it.
Yeah,
or I can
yeah.
make an entirely other one up. Okay.
So right now, Marshall has investigate crime, capture a criminal, and resolve a legal dispute. You can make a fourth thing where it would apply.
Okay. I mean, is it, sorry, just not to belabor the point, but so could I choose, for example, a pre-existing, the capture a criminal, and then just sort of like argue why I think it might apply and like flesh out a backstory behind it to make that?
You could do that, and then Sev, the audience gets to decide if that applies.
Gotcha.
Or you can make something brand new as part of that. So your choice.
I think that capture a criminal like actually does apply, and here's my argument for that. Because I'm not trying to actually like take out this Martian douchebag, even though he probably deserves it. I'm just I'm just trying to like a law enforcement, like subdue him, as if in the way that I have done in the past, like when we have caught like somebody that we suspected of a suspected criminal, right? So yeah, so I think that's my argument.
So Sev, thumbs up or thumbs down?
I say thumbs up because that sounds like an important distinction, the subdue versus blast away.
Sounds good. So you get that die.
Sweet. Okay, so I'm up to 3, I think.
Yes.
Okay.
Overture.
Advanced tech, detect song, flee from danger.
Probably not. Feynman
Probably
Sentinels definitely does.
Yes.
You have fight unarmed.
I have fight unarmed, which is basically what I'm doing. And then so that's up to 4, and then threats for veteran.
Yep.
I think we've up to 5. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So I think that's it.
This is a situation where the threat is so I build my die pool out of a combination of threat and vector. Threat is based on how many and what kind of people are in danger. By contrast, vector is based on how infected is something. So right now, you're the only one who's in danger. So that's 2 threat dice. However, oh boy, is this an infection. So that's another 3 dice. So that is 5 dice for me. And no, I'm not actually making it up so it lines up exactly with the same numbers. It's actually just like, these are actually how the rules are going, and it happens to line up. So let's all roll.
Right.
So
I mean, you did design the rules, so I mean,
yeah, that's fair. I'm also I'm designing situations so that they're roughly on par, but the dice are independent of that. All right. Ooh. Okay.
Uh-oh. So I'm at 10, 14, 15, 16 for me.
And I am at 19. So, Kia, are you helping in this situation?
I definitely am.
Why don't you describe how you're doing so?
Yes, how does this look again? How are our 2 combats?
So effectively, the Martian is trying to grab Sev by the throat and slam him down against the coffin.
Sev isn't even here, that you know.
Oh, sorry, not Sev. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It could actually be Sev in disguise.
Unless it really is Sev.
Maybe it's Sev.
Yeah, or is it Sev?
Shay. Sorry.
I am totally down to have it been Sev all along if that's how you want to run it. But we did not establish that yet.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so trying to slam Shay into the torpedo.
Yeah, I feel like Shay probably knows some like good sort of non-violent combat moves and sort of deflecting like an aggressor's momentum and energy. So like where regardless of how this shakes out, like no one's slamming anywhere near this coffin. Yeah.
All right.
Maybe you can go like low or something. So like he's going at me high. I can grab his arm and like kind of pull him almost, and then you can hit him low, and then we get him to the ground, but not like on the coffin.
That sounds amazing.
Okay.
Good teamwork. That's Belter stuff.
That's right. Classic Belter tag team.
Totally.
Brilliant. All right. So with that, the way that this works is that Kia takes another point of strain.
Oh. Yay.
And Shay re-rolls.
Got it. And I get to choose how many I re-roll.
I recommend you re-roll your ones.
Yes. I should probably keep the 4s, right?
I mean, probably should. You're only down by 2.
Right. Okay. Math. Okay. Here goes everything. Okay. Wait, we tied. Wait, yes?
10.
Oh, wait, why did my...
No, that's 21 on your end. And I'm at 19, so you're good. You win.
Okay.
So you get to narrate this and then take a point of strain.
Basically, the plan that I just described, it works. And yeah, so high, low, and this like roid-raged Martian Marine like slams, like he goes down like hard. Like I'm imagining, face plant and if it makes sense, maybe like knocked unconscious so that, you know.
So he sort of shakes himself off and like what happened, but like broken nose, just bleeding.
I kind of come from behind the crates. You were losing your mind. After all the violence, I'm like, yeah, you were kind of losing your mind a little bit. Don't worry, we still have everything under control. Just do me a favor, go sit down. Just relax, because you do have a broken nose.
And yeah, and Crisis just starts crawling away.
Yeah, we should definitely get him a chair or something.
And then the coffin starts screaming again.
Well, before he gets away, I just have to say something under my breath, like weak ass Martian.
And I just sit there looking at him confused, like, yeah, weak. Anyway, let's. Okay, we gotta figure out how to stop this. So, any ideas? All right. Crap. So, from what I know, I would think maybe we should probably get rid of this thing quickly.
Right. I mean, maybe we could detonate it, like somewhere such that it destroys the Tormenta inside.
Maybe we could bury it. Bury it completely deep.
But that would surely block out Polvo's like dulcet speech and song if we were to bury it in the ground. We wouldn't want it to corrupt Polvo.
True. Crap. I am open for suggestions because, you know.
I mean, you're probably the one with the most experience with Tormenta, right?
Yeah, but you know, it wasn't exactly my idea. At this point, I'm just saying shit just so that I can just to kind of think this through. Well, if we have to find an environment that won't necessarily cause so much trouble if we want to try and detonate this, which is not the greatest idea ever. And I repeat, not.
All right, we can go with the burying. But I mean,
Barry's walks by. Hey, I resent that comment. Walks away.
So Barry.
I mean, what if we encased it in something? That way it wouldn't, affect your whatever Polvo song.
Appreciated.
We could, like you said, we could put it inside of an object that might not exactly mess up the song, but won't necessarily make people go bonkers like super soldier guy that got the broken nose, Yeah. Cruz. Crisis. So,
Wow.
Maybe we could build a container that might have somewhat of a soundproof, but only to a certain frequency.
I mean, completely soundproofing this thing might be a good option. Just saying.
We could.
Wait, what was that?
Completely soundproofing this is probably a good option. Like, just no one sees. Like, just like bury it in cement, drop it at the bottom of the lake. Like, that is an appropriate option in this situation. Granted, you might get angry fish at that point, but
more food. Sorry.
Angry fish are acceptable.
Can I sorry, go.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I mean, can I possibly try and speak with Polvo to see what Polvo would like us to do with like this?
Absolutely. Yep. So why don't we make a roll to see if that works and how that works? So you are a person doing a thing.
Yes, I thought this is gonna go so badly.
So are you arguing with Polvo?
Yeah, I guess it depends upon like the tenor of Pablo feels. I feel like if I'm
Oh.
advocating for we will cement this and then bury it in you.
So Polvo thinks that this is an abomination.
Mm.
And is effectively, get it away, get it away, get it away.
Yeah, then we're probably arguing.
Yep. All right. So you get to die because you're
Yay.
arguing with the planet. This is.
I don't think this is going to go very well.
You're speaking with Polvo.
I'm trying to make some plans about what to do with this thing.
Yeah. Okay. That'll work.
And yeah, I'm speaking with Polvo. So I think it's 3 plus my 1 for being a human doing a thing. So it's probably 4.
All right. And so because this is only going to be affecting you, this is going to be 4 dice in total.
Wait. I'm good to go 4 for 4. I can't think of anything. Unless I can come up with something like Song Soother or something, or like to have some kind of like lullaby effect on the screaming awfulness that's going on to try and like mute it. But it feels a bit magic-y, like.
All right.
Yeah, I'm good to go 4 for 4. Let's do it.
All right. So why don't you roll?
I will roll. Ooh, that's bad because my 3
So
stroke
I'm
count.
winning by 1. Oh, sorry. How much time do you have?
I got 3, so my 3 stroke count, right? Or is it 1, 2, and 3 stroke
dear.
count?
Yep. So can we take now take advantage of this to show you how the corruption rules work?
Yay.
So when I win, I can concede and let you get whatever you wanted. Fantastic. So why don't you narrate how you win?
Oh god. Okay. So like what does this look like? I think like I have to Badger like sinks to their knees and plants their hands like flat into the ground, right? To get and like maybe their cheek as well to get as close as possible to like Prospero to have this conversation. And like closes their eyes and kind of just like sinks into the ground. Maybe like rests their forehead to it as well. And I think like they go very internal into sort of this voidless space in which they commune with the Prospero, and the space feels like quite warm and green and like a bit like minty and youthful, but a bit like hot and humid at the same time because Prospero is not happy. And I think like it's probably a bit of like back and forth as the space changes and warps and like the heat sort of like cools a bit. It's like placate Prospero, like, no, we will you won't even be able to tell that like this abomination like is buried within you. Like all of our care and attention and love will go into sort of like casing this off, so like we can coexist together outside of this like monster screaming.
Yep.
And then
yeah. So Polvo agrees and shows you exactly where you can bury it, where it will be the least painful
possible. I love you.
And I'm just going to do something on your character sheet.
Excellent. Are we changing beliefs?
Yep. So Lauren gets to veto this. Kia
Community.
doesn't even know it's happened.
I like that a lot. Yeah, that sounds fun.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I love it. See, I get up and like dust myself off. I'm probably a bit dirty, like with dust and stuff, and like I'm already pretty dirty because I'm still covered in swamp shit. My elbows are like up to there in swamp blackness, and I smile at my belter friend, and I'm like, oh, like I have been shown the way in which we can bury this, where it will cause Prospero the least harm, so we can continue on as a harmonious community.
Great. Point the way.
Of course. I will like beckon everyone to come and follow me to bury this.
Yeah. So you are able to bury it safely.
Do we sink it in that green pool at the bottom of the map?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Totally sink it in there.
That's where Prospero's taking me. For like green imagery.
Yep. Yep, that sounds good.
Oh, that's what Prospero meant.
Nice. Totally not a coincidence.
All right. So as it sinks into the mud with a schlicking sound, you hear the screams fade and fade. Bubbles burble up out of the green swamp water. And there's silence and quiet for once. For what the first time in what seems like an eternity. So, I think we answered the question. So let's go through beliefs. And this time, I'm going to punt this over to Sev. So why don't you go through all those beliefs and then judge people harshly?
Ha ha ha. All your fates are in my hands. Ever more than I have right now. Okay, so we've got Badger with one that is already altered. Do I judge that one that changed?
Yep, you use the new one.
Cool, okay. So, do you feel that singular minds corrupt? Or community consumes the individual? Came up here.
Do I choose or is it Ryan?
No, I was asking your opinion as a person who was playing Badger.
Oh, I see.
Because I didn't think right away, but I was willing to be persuaded.
Ah, yes. Let's think. Singular minds corrupt. Ew. I feel like I could see a case for it in terms of like Badger being like, no, we must like listen to like Prospero. We cannot like listen to anyone else's voices. Like Prospero is going to be the one that dictates what happens to this. And I feel personally consumed by the community in straining myself to the point of not becoming myself to save the community. For sure. I don't know if that counts though. If that's maybe a bit too meta.
No, I definitely like that second one. So.
All right.
Not totally sold on singular minds corrupt. You can have community consumes.
So, yay. Bring that up to 3. All right. Next.
And Kismet. We are our ghosts, and you get what you pay for.
Yeah. So, at first I was thinking, try my best not to get so involved with the torment and all the screaming with the coffin, but they're my team, so I have to help them and try my best to, make sure it doesn't blow up or come out of his coffin again. That was more so my idea of helping and avoiding trying to get into the conflict of watching Crisis, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, go berserk and trying to harm Shay and Badger. I wasn't with that, so avoiding it at all costs always the best thing. I'm not
I
good.
mean, I'd be willing to say that that's you get what you pay for because no one paid you to save them. But, because all you did was hide, which is amazing.
It kind of is, yeah. So,
So-
Mark and Insight, yep.
Sweet.
Okay.
And Shay.
Shay, yeah. So I feel like you leaned pretty hard into survival as a lottery over everything.
Oh, interesting. I was actually going to argue for the first one.
Oh, I was going for the easy one first and then saying, so what do you think about viruses? But
Yeah, I mean, in my response to the weak ass Martian, I was totally judging him for succumbing. I mean, the thing is still in the coffin, and he's already, going into this like roid rage state. Like that's pretty. I feel contempt for him, which I'm not endorsing this viewpoint. This is just my character. So yeah, that's my argument for viruses plays off our weaknesses.
so would you
Convincing,
say
no?
that you did not feel that survival is a lottery this time?
No, what I did was completely reckless.
Yeah, because I was
Um,
going. I I feel like there was a lot of that contempt and victim blaming, and also it was luck of the draw. I happened to win this time, so I would say that you could have both if that's a thing that you're allowed to do.
Yep, that is totally the thing you can do.
all right, and most importantly, I've caught up to Lawrence. So
Brilliant.
Sorry.
So now, since people are now at, there's two of you who are now at 3. So this triggers moments of discovery. So what happens is that, let's start with Kia. Kia, you get to pick another character and ask them a question about themselves, about their history, about their hopes, their dreams, and you set up a moment where effectively they can either role play or narrate how the answer to your question. So this is a situation where Lauren, the player, asks a question because you want to find out about another player's character.
Oh my god. So many questions. Ah.
And this reduces strain from both yourself and the other person that you're asking the question from.
Oh, interesting. Oh, that's interesting. I'm so torn because, like, on the one hand, I have a lot of like this fictional narrative questions I want to ask someone, but they're not suffering from the most strain. So I feel like that would be like less efficient
could
on
totally
like a
do
meta
it.
level.
I'm a big fan of
Are you
suboptimal
trying-
strategies.
To min-max therapy?
Yes.
Yes.
I totally am. Well, I don't know. I have so many questions for Sam, just because Sam is such a mystery.
Yeah, don't worry about my strain if that's what you're concerned about.
I was.
I give you permission to. Yeah.
Because, yeah, exactly. That's why I want to ask you some fucking questions. And I'm not sure what this question. I feel like this question is for some reason I'm circling around like what are you so afraid of, or like why are you so afraid of yourself, like that kind of thing.
That is a good one. Like, that is a good question.
Oh, good.
Sev, would you like to role play this in a scene with Kia, or would you like to just narrate the answer?
I could go either way. Do you want to roleplay as Sinkia, or do you want me to just give you an answer?
I mean, I could do either. How many for time? Because I know we've got like 10 minutes, right?
Yeah, we've got 10
Okay, we're
minutes.
closing in.
Um,
Then.
ah.
Why don't you roleplay?
Okay.
Yay.
Ooh, yeah.
So
It
is
is
this
7.
before or after this happened?
I could see a case for either if Seb wanted to like avoid the sort of screaming, humming sounds, or I could see it just a flashback to a time prior.
I mean, this could be the coffin is slipping into the swamp. Other people are dealing with the coffin, and you two are standing in the corner chatting. Like, you've got options.
Yeah.
The worst background music. Just the screams of the damned sliding into a swamp. You know, like a typical Friday.
That's a pretty good like scene opener, right? Like as this coffin like sort of submerges into the green goop, like this thing, the screaming sort of like the game becomes like it's like boom, and sort of softens into silence. Ooh. Yeah, and I probably look to yeah, this sounds bullshitty enough. I probably like turn to Sev and like lean in a little closer and say, when I was communing with Prospo, I felt like like when you have indigestion or like you eat too quickly and you have like just a pain inside of you. I felt that, but it was coming from you in the void space where I talked to Prospo.
Sev sort of considers for a second and looks over and is currently looking like sort of not quite middle-aged Martian, but with a heavy scarring on one side of his face and like some fingers missing. Because you asked the planet how I was?
Indeed, this planet cares about you. It cares about all of us. And no matter how much you change, the pain that you carry with you, it will remain the same. What are your pains? What ails you? What are you running from? Why are you hiding it?
I'm not hiding it. I'm showing it all the time. And they kind of blend a little, and suddenly it's Indian woman with kind of a belter build and her hair done up in a tight bun and everything. And this was my co-pilot. She's dead now. That's the only thing I can do for them. I keep their faces. And just kind of shifts again into one of those kind of just alt faces of the people here. And just turns and walks away.
Ah, good scene.
Excellent. Both of you remove 1 strain. And Shay. Next.
Yeah, I think I want to ask a question of Kismet. And let's see. I mean, should I spell out what the question is first, or like reveal the question in the course of a scene, or either?
Whatever you feel comfortable with. Either one works.
Okay. I'll make it a surprise for Kismet. So I'm thinking this is let's see, chronologically, when would this have happened? I think actually, yeah, I think this is, since we have sort of a quiet moment around the cesspool there at the bottom of the map, and I think maybe you and I kind of break away for a moment, and I think, let's see. think I kind of getting close to you, maybe like a little bit uncomfortably close. Like I'm invading your space.
Definitely smell your breath. It's a good.
Yeah. And I'm like, so um, you saw that Martian back there, you know, flip out, right?
Yeah, I did. You know, yeah, it was
So,
best not involved as much.
uh, he's acting. I he was acting like he didn't know anything about this Tormenta, but I don't buy it. All these Martians, they're all holed up. Um, they're all holed up in the FSS Defiant. Who knows what they're up to, and I need to know, like, can I count on you? Um, or are you still beholden to your old your old bosses?
Well, to be honest, I trust you guys more than I trust. Well, you seen what happened, how he went berserk. So if we can, I'd rather be with my team other than trying to lose my mind along with the rest of my people. I still want to be able to help them while also helping you, if that makes sense.
Uh, yeah, I think you've answered my question.
Well, I do apologize if it was confusing, but just know I'm with the team.
All right, good to know. And I kind of pat you on the back. It's a little bit too forceful, um, but yeah.
Relax with that, but I understand.
Excellent.
Okay, that works for
And
me.
remove one strain. So Kismet goes down to 1, and Shay goes down to 2. And I think that is an excellent point to end the scene and effectively the session. Does anyone have any comments, questions, or thoughts at the end of the session?
Pretty fun from our first one.
Yes. P.S. Like, props to you for jumping in like it's so like into that scene without any like prior context. You did
Yeah.
it splendidly.
Yeah, we threw you right into the deep end.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
you took to it.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here, and I really liked the I'm gonna hide behind some boxes because this is messed up reaction. So,
Hey, it's no worries. I enjoy just being able to have fun with people, and I do like kind of just jump into random moments like that.
Excellent. Any comments, questions, or do we have to wait until next week when we get to discover how that shiny new belief affects Kia's personality?
Oh man, I have a lot of I like God, I love this. Yeah, I know that I struggled a bit with the cold opening, just going like and go, but I think like very quickly after then I had a very good vivid imagery of the scene and what was going on. And I think like the sort of platform tilt question format really translates over super well like into this like game as well from Sig and Steph. And I building pools is like super fun and like arguing for like why you should get dice and stuff, and me making the poor choice of like I want to talk to Prosper, and going, oh shit, I don't actually have a lot of like dice to do that, so that'll be interesting. That's always super fun. And yeah, I really liked the process of straining yourself, getting straining yourself, and then having that like impact your beliefs, and then like the writing of the belief I thought was super fun. Like I liked how you tweaked it. I like having Vito to say like, oh yeah, I'm not quite sure if it sits with this character, but I think going from community over the individual to community consumes the individual is like, yeah, it's gonna be super fun to play out and show how that changes. I'm curious to see how other people respond to it, or if other people like care that I'm changing. I think that'll be super interesting because I have no idea how this is gonna go down. And then a question. So like because I have 2 strain, that means 2s don't count, right? It's
Correct.
I find that so fascinating in terms of your choices for re-rolling, right? Because it's like, yeah, that is super fascinating. I really want to like thrash the crap out of that system to see how it works, especially when we start getting sort of like 4, 5, and 6 and things like that.
So there's a couple things that you should be aware of.
Yes.
One, if you look at the insight track, at 3 and at 6, you get a moment of discovery. At 9, you get a moment of growth. When you get a moment of growth, you effectively make permanently accept or reject a belief, and you write it as a conviction. It always gives you a die when you support it.
Ooh, which is so interesting because it's like if you take the quick and nasty route of like I'm just going to re-roll and strain myself, and it's like the more your beliefs change, then you have to entrench a belief that like has corrupted over time.
You don't remove strain when that happens.
Ooh, interesting.
So the strain just piles up because you don't have quite enough to recover fully.
Interesting. Yeah, I'm super keen to see how far I can take that in these
and
issues.
Guess what happens when you hit 6 strain?
You go a bit loopy.
You get to choose if your character or a character that an NPC that you have a relationship with is retired from play.
Then I get some NPCs.
Yep. So building relationships with NPCs gives you narrative ablative armor, because you can burn through your relationships and then you get rid of all your strain. You're fine.
Nice. Yeah, I better find some NPC friends that I can rely upon. I'm excited. This is very exciting. I'm excited for all of this and to see how it works.
Excellent. Well, thank you all very much. It has been a pleasure as always, and I will see hopefully all 4 of you next week if you're able to join us, Javante. Excellent.
I can't wait.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. It was a lot of fun.
Yes.
Ciao.